I'm staring at a yellow sticky note. Just a square piece of paper with blue ink on it. Someone's AOL password scribbled in my wife's handwriting. She left it right next to the keyboard. And I absolutely know, that if I log in, everything changes. My hand is shaking as I reach for the mouse. This isn't the beginning. The beginning was weeks ago when my kids started talking about Grandma and Grandpa's house. A lot. Like, multiple times a week. We went to Grandma's today. Mommy dropped us at Grandpa's. We watch cartoons at Grandma's house. My son is 6. My daughter is 4. They don't lie. They don't have agendas. They just tell you what happened. And what happened was my wife was driving them 90 minutes away to her parents' house. 2, 3 times a week. On days she wasn't working her part-time job. I asked her about it one night after the kids went to bed. Have you been taking the kids to your parents a lot? No. What? The kids mentioned it. Seems like they're going there pretty often. Maybe once in a while. You know how kids are. They exaggerate. But she wouldn't look at me when she said it. My wife was never a good liar. I started checking the odometer on her car. Just glancing at it when I got home. Doing the math in my head. Her parents live 90 minutes away. That's 180 miles round trip. She was putting on 400 extra miles. Every week. The math didn't work. Something else was happening during those drives. My stomach felt hollow every time I looked at that odometer. Like something inside me was already dying and I just hadn't admitted it yet. Then I found the sticky note. I'd sat down at the computer to check email. And there it was. Right there. Her AOL password written in her loopy handwriting. She must have written it down because she kept forgetting it. Left it there by accident. Or maybe some part of her wanted me to find it. I stared at that password for 5 full minutes. This was a line. If I crossed it, I couldn't uncross it. But I already knew. Didn't I? I already knew something was wrong. The miles. The lies. The way she'd started dressing differently on those drives. Better makeup. Nicer clothes. My throat went dry. I logged in. The inbox loaded. I scrolled through. Bills. Spam. Newsletters. Then I saw her college friend's name. Multiple emails back and forth. I opened one. So how's it going with you? And redacted? Still meeting up. I opened another. My wife's response. Yeah. We met again Tuesday. God, I forgot how good it was with him. His wife really let herself go after the kids. She's so fat now. I can't believe he's still married to her. I felt like I'd been punched. There were more emails. Casual. Laughing. Like cheating on me was just something fun they gossiped about. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely use the mouse. I printed everything. Every email. Stashed them in my car. And then I sat there in the dark, in my own house, feeling like a stranger. I called a friend. Danny. He's a cop. I need advice. Off the record. He listened. Didn't say much. Just listened. You need proof, he said finally. Not just emails. Real proof. I know a guy. Used to be on the force. Left to become a private investigator. His name's Ron. Want me to give him your number? I said yes. 2 days later, I met Ron at a diner. He was older. Calm. Looked like someone's uncle. I gave him the emails. Told him what I knew. He didn't judge. Just took notes. I'll find out what's happening, he said. Give me 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks felt like 2 years. I went to work. Came home. Played with my kids. Made dinner. Pretended everything was normal. My wife kissed me goodnight. And I wanted to scream. But I didn't. Because I needed to know the whole truth first. Ron's report came in an envelope. Thick. Heavy. I opened it in my car in a parking lot. Photos. Timestamps. Locations. She would drop the kids at her parents' house. Then drive to a restaurant. Meet a man. They'd have lunch. Laughing. Touching hands across the table. Then they'd drive, in separate cars, to a motel. The photos showed them going in. 2 hours later, coming out. Then she'd pick up the kids. Drive home. Make dinner for our family. Like nothing had happened. I stared at those photos until my vision blurred. That was my wife. In every picture. Smiling. Happy. With someone else. Ron also found out who the guy was. His name was Bob. High school ex-boyfriend of my wife's. Married. 3 kids. Worked as a VP of sales for his father-in-law's company. Ron gave me his address. His wife's name. Everything. I sat with that information for days. My parents cheated on each other when I was a kid. The screaming. The blame. The way it poisoned everything. I swore I'd never do that to my kids. But she did it to them. I hired a divorce lawyer. I asked Ron for extra copies of his report. And I asked him to do one more thing. I want you to meet with Bob's wife. Show her everything. She deserves to know. Ron nodded. You sure? Yeah, I'm sure. The same day my wife got served with divorce papers at her work, Ron met with Bob's wife. He showed her the photos, the timeline, the motel receipts. I wasn't there, but Ron told me she cried, then got very, very quiet. What she does with this is up to her, Ron said. I nodded. My wife came home that night in shock, holding the divorce papers. Why didn't you talk to me first? You had plenty of chances to talk. You chose to lie. She tried to explain, to apologize, to make excuses. I didn't care. I'd already checked out. The divorce itself was civil. The infidelity didn't matter much legally. We split custody, worked out finances. I kept my distance. Only talked about the kids. Nothing else. But Bob's life exploded. His wife cleaned out their joint account, took the kids, left. Her father, Bob's boss, found out what he'd done. Bob got fired. Turned out her parents owned the house Bob and his family lived in. He got evicted. Their divorce was brutal. Court filings went public. Fighting. Restraining orders. At one point, Bob showed up at the house to argue with his ex-wife. Her brother was there. It escalated. Bob's nose got broken. Police reports. Criminal charges. Jail time. I followed it all online. Public records. Court documents. I told myself I wasn't responsible for what happened to him. But I wasn't I? I can't find Bob anywhere online anymore. Last I heard, he left the state. His ex-wife took over her father's company after he retired. She's doing fine. As for my ex-wife and me, we co-parented. I didn't engage with her on anything that wasn't about the kids. Now that they're adults, I don't talk to her at all. I don't hate her, but I don't care about her either. She's just the woman who used to be my wife, who destroyed what we had, who made me the kind of person who destroys someone else's life as payback. Sometimes I think about Bob's kids. They were young, like mine. They didn't do anything wrong, but their dad lost his job, their house, their family got torn apart. Because of me. I told myself I was just giving his wife information she deserved. And I was. But I also knew what would happen. I knew her father owned the business, the house. I knew it would ruin him. And I wanted it to. My kids are fine now. Adults. They don't remember much from that time. They know their mom and I divorced. They know it was complicated. They don't know the details. And they never will. But I know. I found out my wife was cheating, and I didn't just leave. I burned her affair partner's entire life to the ground. Was it justice? Was it revenge? I still don't know. I've carried this for 20 years. The sticky note, the emails, the photos, the decision to send Ron to Bob's wife. People say I did the right thing, that she deserved to know. And maybe that's true. But I also know I didn't do it just to help her. I did it to hurt him, because I was hurting. And I wanted someone else to hurt the way I was hurting. I don't lose sleep over it. But sometimes, late at night when the house is quiet, I wonder about Bob's kids. What they remember, what they were told, whether they blame their dad or their mom or both, whether they'll ever trust anyone. I wonder if I saved them from something or if I just made everything worse. And I'll never know. My ex-wife made a choice. A selfish, destructive choice that hurt me and risked hurting our kids. But I made a choice too. I chose to make sure Bob lost everything. And maybe he deserved it. Or maybe I just needed someone to pay. The funny thing about revenge is it doesn't feel the way you think it will. I thought I'd feel satisfied, vindicated, like justice was served. Instead, I just felt empty, like I'd lost something I couldn't get back. Not my wife. I'd already lost her the moment she drove to that motel. But something else. Some part of myself that believed I was better than this. I don't know if what I did was right or wrong. I just know I did it. And I'd probably do it again. And I don't know what that says about me.